Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Got another Transformers toy review. Obviously, that's the thing I specialise in. But yeah, we've got Terrorsaur here from the Golden Disc collection. So this is actually the last figure in the 4-figure, I think, line that they did for this. So you had Terrasaur, Puffer, I think, Jackpot, and Tigertron, which Tigertron I need to review, which I haven't done yet, so I will do that as well. So here we are, we've got him. I've just done a retro review of the original Beast Wars Terrorsaur. So I mentioned about doing a size comparison. Well, there he is. If I can get him to stand up now. Probably won't stand up, but... Ah! I knocked the other guy over. So, what the new version does really well is it's a very cartoon accurate version of the toy. Whereas this one, it does its own thing. So I keep on knocking it with the wings. You get the idea in terms of size. He's a good deal bigger. This guy, pardon me, is a deluxe. He's kind of based off the Air Razor mold. So if you remember how to transform that guy, it's going to be a similar transformation. I have cut up the box and all the bits and pieces. I didn't want all the extra cardboard and bits and pieces, but it is good packaging. It's you know, just didn't see the need to keep it. So these bits are the ones that I do keep. In just the picture of him in robot mode with his gun here, 22 steps, transformation into his beast mode, which you see there. He does come slightly mistransformed, so you do need to sort out the kind of waist section on this. The other bits of feedback I would give is just around these wings. So this bit in particular, on the instructions, on the box picture, I should say, it looks like they're pinned, but they're not. So at some point they decided not to do that. Basically means that these come off really easily. So I did think maybe it's a mistake, but it looks like they've taken the decision not to do that. But I don't know, you could, whether or not you could put in something that goes over that, just to avoid that coming out. Because when I was kind of messing around it to start off with, that was one thing that did tend to sort of like pop off or anything else, things like that. But obviously you get your instruction manual as well. Terrasaur here. It comes with this kind of blaster gun, which is red plastic, but it's then painted, sorry, this gun metal. He holds it in his hand just fine. I did notice they've got various different little storage bits for him. So you can peg it in down underneath here. Like that. You can also peg it on the side of his leg. Just in here as well. If I can peg that in like that. That holds in nicely. So it's quite a cool thing to do, that you can peg it in, and obviously that's the same either side. So that works out nice. I'm sure he's got like a little flight stand in here somewhere. We'll probably come to that a little bit later. The other thing as well in the box is there is these two little pieces that are kept separate. So I'm there to clip on afterwards. So just bear in mind that you've got those. Make sure you don't chuck those out. They are in like a little bit of tissue paper, wrapped up in a little bit of tissue paper. But anyway, I'll concentrate on the figure himself. So obviously he's got the gun. He holds that fine. You know, nothing to write home about, but it's fine. The figure itself, he looks pretty good. Just make sure I've just pegged him all in, because I might have unpegged it from the back there. So it can come unpegged. This section here is just with the wings and stuff. Obviously you can configure those however you want them. You can have them kind of all the way out. I prefer to kind of have them back and like that. Kind of, but you can move them around. I did see someone else had posted something where they kind of done something where they put them the other way around, apparently, you know, to have it more show accurate. Well, I'm not too bothered about that. The face is excellent. It's completely cartoon accurate. You've got this kind of like greyish paint on his face, and then his eyes are painted yellow. Maybe you'd want his eyes to stand out a little bit more, a bit of paint on the crest maybe, but you do have this kind of black dotted paint on here, which will come through into beast mode. A little Predecon symbol here, which is really diddy. They've done the symbols that they tend to do on these seem to be really small and kind of well hidden. Silver paint here and here. Lots around here as well, and coming down to the legs. So most of it is the other details of silver paint, which, you know, around it's added fine. And then we'll obviously, all of this is painted, but we'll come and look at that in beast mode. The head is on a ball peg. You kind of get it to look down a bit, up a bit, but then you get that kind of gap thing showing up here. The head does move from side to side. It is like a little bit tricky to maneuver around because he's got like a bit of a chin on him, and there isn't like a load of room. It's quite tight in the back here, but like I said, it is a good head sculpt. There's a little bits of kind of extra bits of plastic in around here and here I've got on mine, but the detailing is pretty good in terms of all the like the panel work and stuff like that. The arm is on kind of like what would you call like a universal, which kind of goes all the way around out like that. So plenty there. This rotates all the way around, and then their arm comes up to there, and then you get that, which is part of the transformation, I think. The waist doesn't, you kind of get a little bit of wiggle there. You can move that up and then get that in there. I think it's supposed to come down, so it then restricts the movement a bit. The legs, I think, can do the splits. So you get plenty there. And then forward to there. Back to there again. You kind of have to move around that bit. And then you get a swivel there. It's on like a mushroom peg here. And then a bend in the knee, that takes you right the way back. And then the feet are again on like a ball peg. So you kind of get this bit here. There's like a joint and shin, which you've got there as well. Forward and back. And then this rotates all the way around, and you kind of get like a little bit of a rocker, which is really just to do with the ball joint. But it does mean that he can stand in all sorts of different poses, and he holds that weight fine. He's certainly a lot easier to pose than his predecessor, who was, you know, they were great figures, but they were just quite difficult to stand up. So you know, you'd have like a real issue trying to put them on display and kind of show them off, really. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be with the free feet forward like that, I think. But the only gripe really is these feet are a little bit loose. So you could have it in a little pose, and the feet could be the thing that will kind of let him down in terms of keeping him stable. I did have him like, yeah, there we go, posed pretty well. He is kind of leaning forward a little bit there, isn't he? Believe me, he does stand fine. I'm just making a bad job of it. So See there, because I've got the camera at a bit of an angle, it's a little bit awkward. If I get him at more of a natural pose, just a standing straight forward like that, stand. Yeah, the thing that's letting him down there is these joints here, which make him drop back. So you could put something on those just to prevent that. But he is pretty good looking toy. There's a little bit of difference in the colour of some of the plastic bits, which I hadn't noticed in kind of normal light, but under the kind of spotlights, I guess, it does look a little bit different. And then transform him. If I sort of try and remember how to do that, because it's the same transformation to air rays. And you see the issue you get with these is they will kind of pop off, and then this bit here kind of come undone as well. This bit will open up. Does this bit rotate around? I'm trying to remember how it goes now. Let's move these out of the way for now. But this bit does open up because you basically got this here which will kind of hinge out. Like that. Yeah, and then this bit will hinge up like that. That's it. That's how you do it. And then this head will fold in like that. The wings. It should be able to just swing around like that. You can see the cool looking kind of head sculpt that you've got on that. And then what I seem to remember from the other one is that this used to, these used to fold in. Yeah, I think these, no, that was it. They fold into that gap in there, don't they? That's it. So they kind of like peg in there like that. That was it. I couldn't remember how they go. But yeah, that's right. They fold in like that. They kind of, there is like a little bit there where they kind of fold in. So that's fine. So they sit like that, I think, from what I can remember. And then this part here. So what happens with these legs? These come round here. Not sure if this bit needs to go forward or not. Seem to remember this all kind of folding over. Don't know if you need to move these out of the way or not. I'm going to move them out of the way for now. Just double check. Yes. So I think I need to have rotated that hip bit around. Like that. Then that comes down. See, the other one's falling off now as well. So they are, those wings are a little bit useless, but then you come around and they peg into that, this pegs into that little hole bit there. Then these come forward like that, and then you can have these two pointing forward. So I think with those little pegs, I think you can still have them in, but on the instructions they have them turned around the other way, like that. So I'll just peg them in. So you might have to move them out of the way a little bit. But they will fit in. Yeah, that is pegged into there like that. Then these bits are going to come down. That's going to fold up. Then move that around like that. And you can kind of see where we're at, obviously, but the wings are the bits that we need to peg back on. These kind of pterosaur wings. Oh. You can see that's the big gripe about this figure, I think, is the wings and them popping off all the time. So that's him in his pterodactyl mode. Come on, stand. So yeah, again, one of the issues around this pterodactyl mode is around the feet and that ball joint connection, and it just makes it a little bit tricky to hold in. So then the other thing, they do actually show it pegged in slightly differently, but you can turn them around the other way. On the instructions it shows them pegging forward, and then on another place they show them kind of pegging backwards. So kind of up to you really in terms of how you want to have them. But that is essentially his pterodactyl mode, and if you actually bring these forward a little bit, don't know if that helps him stand up or not, if that just makes him, no, that makes him kind of more, even more kind of hunched over, I think. Trying to get him standing up in this mode. Come on. He does kind of stand up. So he is standing up at the moment for a little while. How long, I don't know. But let's leave him like that for the moment while I transform the other one. So yeah, I mean the beak, the actual face of the animal is really good. You know, all the curves, the eyes, you know, even like the flared nostrils and things like that. The teeth are all painted in and things like that. You've got the sculpting for the claws down here, so they made them look like almost like beast claws coming out of the robot feet, which is really nice. Everything kind of, it is all pegged together quite nicely, and it is a good way of doing this one, I think. These bits, again, a little bit loose. The wings keep coming off, super annoying. But you know, would have been maybe nice to see like a little bit of extra paint like come down here. But the sculpting on it is really good. You can see all like scales and things like that. And then the kind of like more like bird-like bits is hands and stuff like that. The different colour plastics is a bit of a standout. And where it kind of comes off a little bit is you can see when it comes out to there, there's like it kind of stops there. And of course you kind of think you feel like you want to spread it out more, but you can't. So then it'll pop out, but it is still loose. There is more, what would you call it? Articulation in the wings. There is that option to like almost like peg it in there, and then you can kind of peg that bit out. So that bit move as well. Yes, that goes that way as well. So you get a bit of movement in there as well. So you can kind of get a fair bit of movement in there. You can kind of get these bits kind of hooked around here like that if you want to. So he's standing up with his, with that kind of supporting his weight a little bit, if you want to get him looking like that. So yeah, I think, that does look quite nice as well. That's another way of doing it as well. And then just as like a bit of a size comparison as well, I will bring in the other laser beak. So just, I haven't really got them transformed properly, but just as an idea, size comparison. This one's very much a darker red. And this one's almost like an orangey sort of red. And then you can also peg the gun away a few places in this mode as well. I think it says anywhere where you can put it. Oh yeah, so it's mainly kind of under the wings on the side. So again, you can peg it in here, kind of underneath, on his leg, like that. Or you can kind of go underneath the wing like we had it before. This bit does, when you bring it back, does kind of lock in the wing a little bit better. So you can do that. But it's so annoying, these things that keep on coming off. And then again, you can kind of peg it in. Where is it? Is it underneath here? Is that one there? And that does hold in fine. It's just these wings. Oops, underneath. Like that. Yeah, they just do not hold in. And there's the like detail on the feet, like, if you can get that. And the face, the arm, they goes up and down. The mouth opens all the way, and even got like a tongue and stuff inside it. So there's plenty of stuff that you've got in there. Yeah, right. In terms of like recommendations, I do still love this guy as a character. As a toy, maybe this one that does have a few faults. It's just really whether or not you can look past that. If depends how much of a Beast Wars fan you are. If you're not, it's probably one that you go, nah, I'll skip it, thanks, because if you're not, those little things are going to really annoy you, like these things popping off and the legs being a little bit loose. I've got them standing up pretty well now, but if you're not mega into Beast Wars, it's probably going to be a skip. I'm super into it, so it's always going to be one that I was going to pick up. And yeah, I hope they do. Maybe some of the other ones in this one, I don't think they will. But it would be nice to see maybe a laser beak or a fractal maybe, but who knows. Anyway, that's it for now. Too much waffling. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.